course, one of the very comfortable supports for all the teams is Snapfire at the moment, still in the pool as well.
Yep, that's true. Snap would be nice with this
the Doom.
Yeah, with the IO, you get a little mini stun, some gap close, some extra team fight. Though again, not really dealing with the grip. You can help cut through some of the Kunkka's tank ability.
And they ban out the Quap.
2 mid laners banned out, Invoker and Quap.
Interesting Quap ban, because I think traditionally Kunkka's one of the better mid laners up against that hero. Unless that matchup's drastically changed, but you just lock her down with the X into the bow for a majority of the game and you lane really well. So it makes me think they have some mid hero that they have in mind, either on this pick or the second pick in their phase that they're really aiming for.
Which might lean safe lane Kunkka for Matu.
Potentially, yeah.
Ooh, Mirana for the side of Team Liquid this time around.
Yeah,
They're gonna steal it up.
Okay.
What is Yapster gonna play? Because they have banned and taken a lot of his pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Nyx, no Rubik, no Monkey King.
Maybe they give him the IO.
Steal the Mirana.
He did play Pudge earlier in the season.
Yeah, that was their first game. They got blasted by OG.
Nah, Snapfire Sky is still up for grabs for Yapster if he really wanted those.
I think they need a hard stun. Some good latch.
I would say maybe something like Pango, but against Fiend's Grip, I'm not too thrilled about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this pick is pretty difficult for them, because I don't see anything obvious. Maybe something like Disruptor comes to mind, but again, is Yapster going to play it? Seems unlikely.
He played some Clockwork in Dota Pit and some Willow.
Team Secrets turn to pick. Storm
We
Spirit.
got a Storm Spirit first, so they don't need to make the choice yet until maybe now.
Okay, a hero that doesn't get too affected by Kunkka as far as your mid lane potential goes.
Could just see like Shadow Demon come out. Another soft way to deal with some of Bane's interactions. You get this Soul Catcher on Kunkka. It is a Yapsor hero.
5 seconds remaining.
There's also Earthshaker, but that hero fell off the map.
Dead.
Yeah.
Why is that hero dead?
He comes back during TI and then he just vanishes as mysteriously as he appeared.
Yeah.
Earthshaker just likes playing the high pressure game.
Right,
You know?
he's a LAN hero.
Yeah, if there's not at least a couple million on the line, he doesn't want to show up for
Of
work.
course,
so.
of course.
But the Storm is traditionally another great hero versus Kunkka. He ignores the lockdown. Again, we're talking about the jump and being able to close the gap with this Doom and IO. Storm helps you do that. He's one of the best initiators in the game. Abaddon. I was thinking about it, but I wasn't sure Secret was going to play it, because what is Yapster going to play here? These are traditionally both Puppy heroes.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Puppy will just play on 2 computers.
Maybe.
You can take a break.
Maybe, but
No, but he's not.
He's still not a boot camp.
Yeah, he's not at the boot camp. He's at a separate location, unfortunately.
Sure.
You'll have to remote in.
Secrets turn to bad.
And then we got a Slardar coming out from Team Liquid.
Very interesting. Slardar into the Abaddon traditionally wasn't that great. He can cut through some of these low armor IO Doom Storm, because there's no Agi heroes for Secret right now. So it's a great Slardar game in that sense. At the same time, though, who is he synergizing with? Kunkka, Bane, Mirana, not doing much with this amp. So it's pretty much down to their last pick in terms to get some PA or Terrorblade or something like this.
Is there any possibility this is a Nisha Abaddon? Plus an
Nisha
IO?
Abaddon. Yeah, they can do the IO Abaddon lane. They can also do an IO carry with the Abaddon 5, which is something that fell out of meta a little bit. But honestly, it's not that unviable.
Yeah.
It can be pretty good in the right game.
But then what do you still get for Yapsor if
I don't
that's
know.
the case?
Yeah, I think you're just trying to keep them on their toes. It's just that against the Slardar,
I mean, Shadow Demon is actually more interesting, because now you get to purge up this Slardar.
Yeah.
It's even higher value, but
that's true.
I don't know if they're that confident playing IO carry with the other 2 cores, because their lack of direct physical damage might come back to haunt them. Like I said, Puppy loves playing with heroes that can clear the Roshan quick, take towers down fast with high physical damage, so there's still something like TA in the pool. I think would be cool, or any of those high physical Agi carries, Terrorblade.
For Liquid.
For Secret here.
You want a high edge. Oh, because of the corrosive. Well,
Yeah.
Remaining.
I mean, you have the amp to help remove it too, right?
Right.
So,
5 seconds remaining.
Gyro also still in the pool.
Yep. Not a lot of time left for Team Secret. Only 8 seconds in their bonus time.
Very curious where this Abaddon's going.
there's Morphling as well.
Dire team pick.
Morphling Ab is a classic.
There we go. It's a Shadow Fiend. What does that say? Is Shadowfiend safe lane coming out?
Yeah, I guess so. And then laning with the Abaddon and then IO Doom.
Yeah, very strong side lanes. Very nice synergy. The heroes are basically working towards the same goals over the long term on the lane. IO Doom wants to get to the level 3 and 5 area, just run you down. This Abaddon's going to give SF a really good early game. If he's versus any of these melee cores, he should do perfectly fine with that minus armor reduction and the extra right clicks coming out.
You think it's like a bit of a denial pick if they wanted to do Slardar plus SF on
Potentially.
All the minus armor?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that SF carries enough weight with the Liquid lineup to really kick it into overdrive.
And we haven't seen it come out from Matu yet either.
Yeah.
Although Matu could also be the one playing the Kunkka still.
I think they're really considering PATB, something like this. All right, I was just horribly off base
Harry
there.
Slardar?
Yeah,
it's
Matu Slardar.
Taking a page out of Yatoro's book, maybe go with that Moon Shard build eventually. But I don't want to say it's all in because I don't think it's as all in as it appears on paper. But it's interesting that they decided to go like the even more amp up route. They have Beast amping up his 2 other melee right clickers, and they have Slardar amping it up even more. Talk about how fast Roshan is going to die in this game if Liquid ever gets in that pit. And this is a really difficult SF game in terms of him being able to just BKB and channel and ulti. Beastmaster deals with that hero very well in terms of the early team fights. Slardar just, if he's ever on top of that SF, he's never getting a spell or right click off.
Plus the lane also, it's Abaddon SF against Boars. And
Yeah,
Mirana.
that's really rough.
That is
it makes it really difficult for Abaddon to have a high impact on that lane because he does not deal with the boars at all past the level 3 to 5 timing.
We also have Yapster on IO. Do we like that for him? Because it's not your traditional greedy 4 that we see from him?
I think it's more of like a lane setup kind of thing. I think they want the IO Doom, and I guess Puppey can play it, but they...
I mean, is Yapster going to play Abaddon then?
Right.
So he's pretty much locked in.
Fair point.
He might find a way to make it greedy. Maybe he just farm the jungle. You know, you're on your own in the off lane. I'll come back in 10 minutes.
And Puppey's doing the same thing.
Yeah, guys, it's a deciding game between Team Liquid and Team Secret. Enjoy together with Moxie and Jenkins.
Say a little bit of a early Christmas. We get a game number 3 between both of these teams, and we're getting something a little bit different this time around. We're getting a safe lane Slardar.
Yeah, I initially didn't understand the pick because I was like, oh, you know, Slardar versus Abaddon. That's, you know, Abaddon's a counter to Slardar. You take off the amplification. But that's the thing is, safe lane Slardar, that's different because you're playing around your right clicks, you're playing around the bash. It's not just about amping the enemy team and being that kind of buff hero for your team. So it does make sense, the pick. It's a little crazy, but there's a lot of these, you know, earlier style safe laners that are being picked up. So it's not so different from the meta that we're seeing develop. Even on the other side, we have a safe lane SF.
Feels like this is going to be a draft that plays very, very quickly. Ooh, that arrow very close to Nisha, figuring, you know, why not check that tree line? But also getting treated to the Smail Storm Spirit. I'm sure our observer is very excited for that. That is already a difficult hero to be obsing, and when it's Smail, it's even crazier.
You know, I personally have some trauma associated with the Sumail Storm Spirit.
All right, let's delve into this.
Back when he was a completely unknown, it's like, oh, there are these Hassan brothers that are in NA playing for terrible Root Gaming who were awful. And we're like, Leviathan, we're like, oh, we're going to stomp these guys. They got Storm for Sumail, and they got Yawar's Morphling, and they obliterated us. Like, it was something else. I was like, this guy's going to win a TI someday.
I mean, you weren't wrong.
No, I was talking about Yawar.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you know, there's still the possibility there.
Both of them felt just insane, but the Sumail Storm in particular was like, it didn't feel balanced.
No, this guy knows the ins and outs of this hero so well.
And it's been so buffed in terms of the zip range that you can get now. And it was always about those, you know, big zips with him, getting out on really low mana. Yeah, it's a good patch for him to play this hero.
And it's actually crazy to think about, like, when Smail first came onto the scene, how little he was, right? He was an actual child. And we're seeing that now, you know, coming out with some of these new up-and-comings, like BZM and Amar. But it's been a while since we've seen these child prodigies, so to speak. Got a long career ahead of them.
Not a very common thing in Dota these days. It's all oldies. Got a bunch of them up here in this lane. Yapstar's probably the youngest out of this group.
I don't know. How old is Insania?
I think he's 27.
Is he?
I think so. He's in 93, I think.
God. born in the 90s.
He's a 90s kid. Does that count? He was a baby even.
Yeah, they're born in the 90s, yes, they're 90s.
Yeah, but he doesn't remember half of it.
That doesn't mean
The 90s ended in like 2005 anyway, but what's going on up here? Okay, Ice, so he does the typical Doom thing these days of going Scorched Earth first. You push the first wave with that ability. The cooldown on it was lowered massively at level 1, and the damage was increased as well. So it's just such a great ability to constantly spam, especially with the IO. Constant regen.
Now, I know Shiva mentioned on the desk, like, this is not typical of Yapster, right? You were so used to seeing Yapster play, like, more of these greedy supports that can really do a lot of damage and make these plays. Ooh, nice save there from Matu. Zania getting clicked down quite a bit. Do we feel like he's going to fare as well in this situation? Because right now, like, Sumail's the big playmaker when you look at what's coming out of the side of Team Secret. Ice eventually, you know, he'll be able to get a Blink Dagger, he'll get a War Stomp, you know, things like that to help initiate. But is there just so much pressure on Sumail? Like,
I think so. That's the question that I was thinking, looking at these drafts, is like, it's basically team no stuns versus team everybody has a stun. Sumail is really the only guaranteed lockdown. It's a fairly long cooldown. Ice, once he gets some levels, like, he's, you know, okay, but these other heroes, it's just nothing. Like, the two supports especially, you can just TP away from them. Like, IO Abba, you're really banking on saving people, baiting things, and 5-manning, as well as pickoffs, of course. With Storm, you're going to get a lot of pickoffs. With Doom, you're going to get a lot of pickoffs.
Storm isn't that hero, though, anymore that, like, can just hit the level 6 and start making plays. This is a hero that tends to like to farm a little bit more, too. Is this...
I do think
concerned about that?
I do think the Soul Ring build that people have been doing fairly recently does actually open it up that you can make plays.
Okay.
I think that there was a long time where Storm wasn't that hero anymore, but I think with Soul Ring, it is kind of back to that, as well as the fact that the ult mana cost has been reduced patch after patch. So I do think you can be pretty active now. But there was like 3 years there where you legit couldn't. Like, Storm was not on the same level as Ember and Void.
No, he definitely fell out of favor for quite a while, especially when the Void Spirit was introduced. That was like the big new one. It was very hard to pin him down. And like you said, you know, in the past, we'd see like the Puck versus Void Spirit. That was pretty much the constant.
Yep, every game. 4's a little annoying down here, but I do feel like SF does fairly decently against it, just because you can get arrowed, I guess. But, you know, that's an ABBA, so... I like where Puppy is playing this lane. He's playing to the right, so he's not going to get himself arrowed, which means he can always save Nisha from the arrow. So he's just kind of sitting here and heal-botting Nisha, which is not super typical for Abaddon these days. A lot of the time you would see an ABBA, you know, run in and be this tank, but that's exactly what a Beast plus Mirana wants. So you can arrow him and then kill him. He obviously can't take the arrow off of himself.
And a Vessel's going to be so key in this game. Just because of the fact they have so much healing coming out from the side of Secret, right? You've got the Abad and you've got, you know, Yapster on the IO.
I've heard people say that ABBA counters Vessel. I've heard the same thing about AA because he...
Because it's the borrow.
He has like...
thing, or no?
Because of the bubble. The bubble is just like raw...
Shield, yeah.
Yeah, the shield is like raw damage reduction as opposed to healing. But the IO, like, yeah, of course, you're going to want to get a Vessel versus IO. Otherwise, the hero just controls the game entirely.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of...
Holy Locket, you've Satanic on every hero, basically.
The amount of heal coming out from IO with the Holy Locket is just absolutely disgusting nowadays, for being really honest here.
How are these lanes going? 12 denies for Nisha, which fairly typical for SF. The safe lane SF, man, you have to kill it. You can't just sit here and outlane it. At some point, he just out-denies you because he has more damage and minus armor than any other hero in the game. So usually you look to rotate to him with either your mid or some other support or an aggressive lane.
I think we'll probably see a rotation come out from the side of Liquid, right? Probably, you know, the X marks the spot is just so good with the Torrent Boat combo when you're trying to go after something like the SF.
Yeah, I think right now is good. Like 6-minute mark, you've got the catapult spawning. Maybe when Beast gets his helm. On both sides, this is a big timing. You have the catapult coming out. Ice obviously ate his in the lane. Or did he eat it? I think he probably ate it. Well, it would be on cooldown now. Where's the catapult? There it is. He's going to eat it. Saving the Devourer for the catapult. It's one super underrated thing, I think, about Doom Mirana. Maybe not so much about Mirana. People always talk about it with Mirana. You kill the catapult and all of a sudden stops the push for most heroes.
I don't even think it's underrated.
For Mirana, it's not. For Doom, I think it is. So much damage.
Does everybody poke? It's a very calm game. We're hitting the 6-minute mark. No kills just yet.
I feel like that's all the time these days.
No, that's not true because NA, I started to say that and then all of a sudden, like, all hell breaks loose.
In NA?
Yeah, I've had, you know, EU maybe a little bit more.
In EU, it seemed a little
More measured.
It's a bit
There's a lot more,
measured,
more
yeah.
discipline, trying to get to those timings. So it's interesting because the early part seems to have slowed down quite a bit, but then once you hit those timings, like we saw in the first game, right, with Liquid, with the Beastmaster, sorry, not Beastmaster, with the Bristleback, it's just go time, and they just run at you. So it's one of those conversations we were talking about with SVG, how Dota has, like, the players have just gotten so good now over time that it's every little minuscule thing that can really give you the advantage. Mickey is just getting clicked down here by Sumail. He's gonna go in for that boat. Just a little bit more help here.
Bro, that is such a that is so Sumail to just force shit out like that.
Well, he had a regen.
I don't want to watch this.
So.
Is bringing back like bad memories. This is rough for me.
Matu in the top lane, getting clicked down by the spirits. Insania, though, still nearby, has a mango if necessarily. Can go and throw out that nightmare, use the brain sap, whatever necessary. But he is getting clicked down here by Ice. Nice little juke here. Turns around, brain saps. Gonna be all right, but sitting a bit low.
You know, arguably the more important thing that happens whenever Dooms make these plays with the Scorched Earth is that behind you, you kill the entire wave. So it results in you having this like huge double wave, or in this case, at least it's, you know, 2 range creeps, where all of a sudden the enemy team can't pressure you, and you just rinse and repeat this throughout the whole game. Like you use Scorched Earth and you run at them, and you don't necessarily like commit to diving the tower or anything, but you say, okay, if you come and try to fight us, you're gonna be fighting into this like 40 damage per second or whatever it is. And you kill the wave.
From Sumail, he's gonna tether up here with the After Boxy, though nearby. Is he gonna be able to save him, though, is the question. It's gonna be enough. A couple more clicks from Sumail. Good arrow, buys just a bit more time, but does it forward here. Mickey running for his life. Sumail out of mana. Despite Yapster being tethered to him, and it is the Arcane Rune top. Gonna try to hold on to a top lane. Ice is left alone, so they're trying to make a play with this. Go for the crush, couple more hits over to Ice. That's gonna be the first blood. Recognizing Io's not there, so they'll be able to find the kill, but Boxy now will fall, thanks to that rotation here.
Damn, Sumail ended up getting the Arcane Rune. I feel like...
I'm surprised that they didn't... I guess they tried to be greedy.
Yeah, I thought Boxy was close to it.
Yeah, he was. I wasn't sure if he was going to try to deny it, pick it up, or I guess they saved it for Mickey.
They're trying to get it for Mickey, yeah, and so it ends up actually giving it to Sumail.
That's a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, not a rune you want your Storm to... You want the enemy Storm to get. You can see on the top lane, by the way, just the strength of Slardar versus Doom. This is exactly why they picked it, despite picking into the ABBA, is that you know that like anytime the support leaves the lane, it's just a free kill on Ice, especially if the tower is up by the... Or if that creep wave is up by the tower. You just run him down, bash him over and over again. There's no way that he can TP out.
They're gonna look to make a rotation here, but Mickey and Boxy also making their way top. So zip in over onto Boxy, hoping that they can get a quick pick off. So they'll be able to burst down Boxy. The follow-up, though, with that fort into the boat. Need a little bit more damage. Can they finish off Sumail? That was gonna be able to just ball lightning away. Is Puppy coming in for the save? They use the Doom over onto Matu. Gets the bash off here. Mickey trying to just give a little bit of space. Oh, the zip forward from Sumail. He'll get himself the double kill. As they'll land the torrent over onto 2. They want to get anything that they can out of this, but Yapster is just still so survivable as Insania now. Trying to hide away in the tree line. Mickey going back in. But there's not much that he can really do as Insania continues to hide up in the tree line. Does open up the bottom, though. A little bit of positive shining here for Zai, so he's going to be able to put pressure, but Sumail's just been super, Insania? Yeah, he's definitely dead there. Super effective, though, with these rotations.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I see something like this, I just think, like, they need to be picking him more Storm. It looks so good from him. He's getting all of the runes, his RNG is good, as well as, you know, able to contest those runes. He's getting tons of kills. He's using his mana until the absolute last drop and then surviving in typical Sumail fashion.
They're looking to use Aurora here. Already secret.
Hard to run into a Beastmaster like this because you know that he's going to have vision of you. He sees the TP away.
Yeah.
They do have the IO relocate, though.
A little bit of a nap time here in the top lane. They still want to put pressure on this tower, and Insania having to be very careful here. Already going to back off, though, seeing that Nisha and Yapster is there. So bottom tower will go down, and they'll probably just end up doing a bit of a trade here with this Cardi wave.
And when you're playing into Beastmaster, you definitely want to take the tower. Fighting into him requires smoke, because otherwise you're going to walk through Hawk Vision, he's just going to get away, you waste your time. So you take the trade.
I was laughing because, you know, you mentioned that Samael's, you know, good rotations, he's getting the good runes, you know, all of this stuff. And I used to, just remembering how I used to troll Kyle. How Kyle was like, you have to, yeah, you know, you're like, this 50-50 split of the runes, it's so stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I would be like, well, just be the better mid, Kyle.
Just be Sumail. Yeah,
just be the better mid. The better mid will always get the rune. And you can't argue with that, but he gets so mad.
Whoever is the higher rank on Dota Plus for their hero. And Sumail, surprisingly, is not that high rank on Storm because he obviously played most of his games on this hero like pre-Dota Plus. But whoever has more games on Storm tends to get the, you know, the arcanes and the regens. And I believe we saw him have one regen, one arcane so far.
Yeah, he's gotten very lucky.
It always tends to be true. It's also true that the teams that are playing around Storm Spirit often are the ones that are going for and defending those runes, because good Storms will tell you how important they are.
Samael, you know, Gaben's most beloved son, the Ice Frog.
It's either Sumail or Quinn, because Quinn always gets runes as well on his Void Spirit.
They favor those NA mid players, dude.
They do, yeah.
They really do. Double damage over on Ice. A little bit of scouting going on, but you could see before Zai was trying to make his way over to the mid tower, but a good scan made sure that everybody just backed out.
Yeah, Zai just taking out the enemy jungle. We've gone to farming on kind of both sides here. Insania 6.
The Doom over on Insania, and that'll be a dead Bane eventually.
I think whoever sees the other first there is the one that goes for the kill, although the IO relocate save was there if Insania did ult. So honestly, I think you're kind of okay soaking the Doom here, Insania.
Yeah, I'd say so. Where's Zip? I hear a Zip, I see a Boxy, I see a leap coming out from the Barana. Good crush here from Matsu, but the Zip forward again from Samael should ensure that they get the kill on Marana. And now Matsu just goes right back to farming. Mickey's here. Rejoining in, gets the X marks the spot over onto Yapser. Be able to land the torrent. Both they tap enough burst damage. Those questions. He doesn't have the tether at the very least. So not going to be able to escape that way, but he's still fairly tanky here.
Yeah, early chainmail, so he's super tanky. Of course, the cleave no longer pure damage like it once was. It is based on armor, so the more armor you have, the less damage you're going to take from that. And he survives. Io's a like deceptively tanky hero. I think you were saying in the first game.
Yeah, he's a strength hero.
It's a strength hero. You don't think about it, but it's fairly tanky.
And the pressure's on over in the mid lane. They have the Hellbear Smasher along with the Boars. Try to put out some of this damage over onto the tower. They'll use the fortification. Feels like they want to try to push them off, but they're not quite sure. X marks the spot over onto Nisha. Gonna poke a little bit. The Zip forward, though, coming out from Samael. Ice joining in. They keep going after Boxy, but they do have to be careful because Insania, again, nearby, has Fiend's Grip, has a Nightmare, has ways to slow down the Storm if necessary.
Yeah, I mean, that defensive tower, the little Zip like that, just showing Liquid that they're willing to commit to a fight on the side of Secret. It's enough to force them back, which I think if you're Secret, you're fairly happy with that because it's not easy for them currently to defend against a Beastmaster. They don't have great AoE to deal with the summons right now. Maybe later on into the game when you're one-shotting them with SF and Storm has higher levels, more, you know, Zip mana, you're gonna have the Doom who's gonna have Devour, things like that. Like it's multiple Dooms as well. Like it's easier to fight, but right now I think Secret's okay with stalling.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes right now. We're not quite at that crazy level of attack. Fiend Script coming out, though, from Insania. They're going to use that relocate, though. They need to be able to take down Doom fast enough. They will be able to do it. The Zip forward, though, they're going to drag back over on Insania. Matu, though, has his eyes over onto Yap, so the Zip forward coming out from Smail. Going to follow up and get some crush off, but they should be able to relocate. Oh, they get the X up, though, over on Smail. He's going to get tossed up into the air. He still has some mana, though. He's going to try to pull lightning out. Manages to go, dodges the boat. He's out, though. Can they get there in time? This Isle coming in. No!
The big cleave.
The cleave from Mickey.
That's a big boy. I don't know why I did an accent there, but that was great.
I don't know, but like
fantastic.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Sometimes you just go Southern when, you know.
I don't even think that was Southern.
Whatever.
It's a little bit of Scottish mixed with, I don't know. I really don't know.
It was an accent, that's for sure. Ice TPs to the bot lane. I really love the Soul Ring on Doom. It functions as like a pseudo Midas along with the Midas because you use it and you get a free Devour plus your W. You can farm multiple camps and multiple creep waves at the same time with that. So on Doom, it's kind of a farming and a fighting item, and that's always the heroes that it feels really nice on.
I feel like we have not seen Zai in a hot minute. He's just been allowed to just hit up this jungle, not sitting at the top of the net worth by any means. But definitely being allowed just a lot of room down here.
I think one part of that is generally this is just a good static Beastmaster game is one where you're just chilling, you have control of this entire bottom area, you're by yourself, which means your team can take over that top area, you get extra farm that way, but also he doesn't want to just get his creep devoured.
Right.
That sucks. So he's waiting until he gets the ancient creep, that's a huge timing. They're not going to be able to kill that as easily.
Smoke fly coming out from the side of Liquid. Insania is going to be the first one to be revealed, but they're on the high ground. I see Puppy, they see Smell. Gonna be the Nightmare immediately over onto the IO. They're going to try to get the arrow off, follow them into the boat. So they'll be able to reduce here, get rid of YapzOr, one less person, but that Requiem Soul is pushing them back. Mickey still looking for anything that he can get for a grab. He's going to run out of vision. They'll have to be satisfied with just YapzOr for the time being, and you can see Secret immediately walking over to their high ground. A very deep ward being placed here by Insania. And tell what their next objective is looking like.
That was pretty cool. Mickey was trying to use the tower vision there. He let the tower shoot him, and then he was using the tower vision in order to try to hit an X there, which is really cool. Super heads-up play. Speaking of vision, Insania is just absolutely abusing this night vision that Bane has. He has whatever his nightmare range is on night vision.
Trying to make the jump over onto Poppy. They'll find that pick off. Very nicely done. Mickey going back in. The roar, though, coming out from Zai, throwing out the axes. Immediately, the buyback coming out from Abad. And Poppy wants to be a part of this fight, but the YapzOr is getting clicked down over on the side. Be able to take down Zai. And they got the Doom over onto Mickey, but not going to be able to finish off here. Matu nearby. Arrow lands over onto Samael. That'll slow him down for a moment, but of course, they do have the Apodic Shield to purge it off.
I'm not sure who that favors. I think that's kind of a one-for-one.
Kind of a wash.
Yeah,
I guess it's Zai going down, like it's your off-laners.
Yeah.
It's obviously more valuable than your...
But you use buyback as well on Puppy, and
True.
I do honestly think that his buyback in an upcoming fight could be important, because we can see what happened there as soon as he died. All of a sudden, Liquid are totally comfortable, throwing arrows, roaring, fiends gripping, like... It's a really good game for Abba to be alive and to dispel. There's a bunch of things that he needs to dispel, like one spell from every single hero, essentially, on Liquid. Barring maybe Kunkka, you could argue.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Only a 1k net worth lead over to the side of Secret. This game is still so tightly knit here. The drag back over onto Mickey. Boxy jumping forward, though, does have the Starstorm.
He's got BKB haster, and I mean, he's god mode right now on Mickey. At this point, with the BKB and a haste, you feel so strong. Oh, they have
The opportune moment. They even have the full Helm of the Overlord completed now. We've got that dragon.
Yep.
Radiant's
Isha
middle tower
went for
is
a
under
Manta,
attack.
so he sent some Mantas in.
Radiant's
Why did he
middle
go for a
Good
Manta?
power.
There's a lot of good things to disjoint in this game, at least in terms of like a Bane walks in, you Manta, he doesn't know which is the real one. You know, same thing for Beastmaster, doesn't know what to roar. Slardar, you take off the amplification. A decent Manta game, for sure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All right. Rest of the Beastmaster Zoo getting into position, not to activating that Mask of Madness. But they are in the Roche pit. Now,
They don't want to make this trade.
This is scary right now because they are right underneath vision. They have a ward. Look at the way that Team Liquid is making their way over there immediately. They do have a sentry. Zania is going to drop his own sentry, immediately realizing, okay, going to have to approach us from another angle. They do force him out of the Roche pit. And again, what our panel said, if they can get in the Roche pit on the side of Liquid, stuff is going to melt.
Yeah. And that is precisely why Liquid doesn't want to just give it up for trading for this bottom tower. I almost always feel like the bottom tower trade that happens whenever you see Dire going to take that tier 2, it often favors the team that gets the Roche, because you just get the Roche and then you use the Roche to take the other tier 2 anyway, so you're not getting this tier 2 advantage by doing that. So I feel like, yeah, sending Zai down bot and then having him slowly progress towards the tier 2 tower and then having everybody else play near the Roche pit makes a lot more sense. And shout out to Insania for that beautiful ward right in front of the Roche pit as they move towards the bot area. That protects them from this play. They know that that's happening, and they've also got the Hawk, so that's going to help out now.
Vision game pretty strong coming out from the side of Liquid. They walk back into the pit. They've got everything to let them know exactly where they are. And look at the way that they're positioned here. Secret trying to be very careful. And Arrow's going to get tossed out, land directly over onto ESF. They've got the Aphotic Shield, and they'll get the dewarding, finally. Bottom tower, though, is getting chipped away by the Cardi, and Secret, they They don't feel comfortable enough being in this pit, knowing that Liquid knows that they're over there. Continue to move forward on the side of Liquid. They're over on the high ground here for Secret.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's
Daytime.
bottom tower is under attack.
Nisha's back in the pit.
Stupendous!
They know this is happening.
Trying to figure out the angle. Liquid sending in some of these. They're sending the Hawk, they're sending the Dragon. Going to casually interrupt. Again, they're still smoked for the most part, other than Asania. This Roche sitting at half health. You can feel the, not the desperation, but just
Tension, anxiety.
yeah.
I like to call it Roche anxiety. Both teams know how important it is. It's this thing that can be, you know,
It's tangible.
yeah, one snatch and all of a sudden, you know, you lose the game because of somebody just making like one crazy play. Also, like, you can have your Storm zip in and just die and not snatch it, and then you lose an Aegis. And so he's
Oh, he walked right over into Insania and Matu. They've got the Fiend Script. Can they do enough damage in time? The Don't Far from my side. He gets the top up over onto 2. He's going to be able to protect Samael. They'll go when they just make sure that they can remove him from this issue here. As again, the Slaughter just continues to hit. He has been doomed, but he's not too concerned as Mickey's going right back in again. We'll punish Ice. Zip over onto the back line, so they're going to try to get rid of Boxy. They have the dust. They've got the vision. They'll be able to get the kill. Still getting into position here. The zip forward over onto Mickey. He's got the BKB, but they'll drag back over onto Zai, and that's a big wreck with. They're not going to be able to get anything else over from Zai. Zai buying back, gets right into the fight again as Mickey going in, wants to get the kill over onto Puppy. Puppy Fox. This is going to be the borrowed time, as now Zai goes for the roar. Will connect over onto Nisha. Ice is here, though. They'll get the kill on Puppy, but it's not looking for Matu, because he's going to be the next one to fall. Zai trying to fight through. He's not going to be able to, but they end up taking down Nisha as Mickey looks to be able to get the X off over onto Ice. The fall from Matu. He fought back. He wants to be a part of this fight, and he will help clean up as they march into that Roche pit. He's sitting a little bit over half health now, but you know that's not going to last for very long.
It is Sumail, though. Be careful.
It is indeed, and
Sumail
he
storm.
is getting ready. Can he time it, though, is the question. Aaron lost out here, and Sania going to get into position, wanting to make sure that they can protect this Roche.
Nah, he's not as ballsy as he once was, it seems, on the Storm. Old Sumail would have gone for that. Well, not old Sumail, because he's old now, but I mean, you know.
A youthful, less experienced,
Sumail.
more bold and brash
Yes.
Sumail.
He might have died. Who am I kidding? He wouldn't have died, but, you know, that's...
Sounds like you've got a little bit of trauma coming back from this when you're playing against Root Gaming, friend.
Yeah,
Radiant's top
those were the
tower
days.
is
There's an
under
Arcane
attack.
Rune.
And here's a replay. Oh my
That
god.
creep, man, that creep. The arrow, I think, let's see, what would that have hit? I think that would have hit clipped Ice, maybe there. And so he wouldn't get the Doom off. I mean, it still turns out in favor of Liquid, but sometimes the neutrals are just...
It could have gone even better.
Yeah, sometimes the neutrals are MVP for like one team or another. I mean, they're truly neutral, so that's fair.
Yes.
It's the boat off. Sumail, in chasing Boxy, uses almost all of his mana.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I can't
attack.
believe that, like, oh my god. Sumail just shows up, right?
Doom times out, though, so... Mickey able to get back in, Matumba able to get back in. Zai goes down. He buys back. Both offlaners actually end up buying back and then dying in this fight.
It was good control of Zai during that. He didn't get the roar off initially. Imagine how different that goes again, if they're able to get it.
Taking him out early is really important, specifically because of the aura. I mean, the aura is very important if Abba is dead, which he is at this point in the fight. But also, just the aura is such an empowering factor at this point. And Ice dies back again. You know, both of the offlaners.
There's a lot of buybacks
having a
going
rough
on
one.
during all of that.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Both of these games, just tons of buybacks being saved on both sides for these crucial objectives and being used.
Scan. They know exactly where they are over on the side of Secret. They're grouped together. They go for the D ward. Oh, if they have, yeah. There's the Solar Crest completed now for Puppy. Skirting around though, Insania finding this opening. It's gonna land over onto the Abaddon. The zip forward though, coming out from Sumail. The feed script though, and the roar on top of each other. Boxy leaps forward. They want to try to get up enough damage, but they're not gonna be able to. Again, that Requiem of Souls forcing them back, but the zip on the back line that got the Doom bomb, so they'll kill Mickey. Monty was chasing after Sumail, but he's gotta get out of there because there's just too many heroes now. What engagement.
Yapsor takes Sumail too, back for a quick trip to the fountain, so you're gonna have a Storm Spirit that is fully healed up.
No,
Is there any
he wants
vision
to
for
be
him
here.
to jump? No, there's not.
Dire's middle tower
I mean, when has that ever stopped him?
Yeah, that's true. The Doom onto Mickey there was really important for that fight. If Kunkka gets all of his spells off, it's a big problem because then you can just delay the Doom, right? You get the Ghost Ship off and all of a sudden, like, the Doom times out and it didn't do any damage. Rum buff hits, and you can go back in. Heal up, go back in. He's really crucial for, like, the disable as well.
That X marks the spot is, like, so important.
Yeah, it's the only thing that can't be dispelled by a Photic Shield. So really, in terms of disable, like, it is the one thing that if you stop, you're not going to have any lockdown. Also, Doom being a percentage damage hero with Infernal Blade, you can definitely feel free to Doom Kunkka. You know, it's not like his massive HP pool is a problem for you. You can basically, because of this percentage damage, you can basically choose to Doom and kill whoever you'd like. It's not like you have to pick a squishy target on Doom. That's never been an issue.
Got a BKB completed now for Storm Spirit and for Doom. So these fights are going to have less control this time around here for Liquid. I mean, they still have great methods of lockdown, right? You've got the Nightmare, rather not the Nightmare, you've got the Fiend's Grip, you've got the Roar, you've got options, and of course you've just got Slardar's Kit in general. And Sania, you need to be a bit careful though. They'll go for the Moonlight Shadow, the Zip 4 from Sumail. Gets a Roar though into an arrow. He's already got the BKB. Not going to be able to lock him down for quite long enough. The boat does come through. As Matu trying to find these openings to get the X off over onto Nisha, but he hits very hard. As Liquid will back off for the moment. Mickey still looking to see if he can grab anyone. Matu jumping forward over onto the Ice side, gets a nice bash off. The BKB will be able to save him a little bit longer.
So Ice does not have Doom yet. I feel like if you're Secret, you're cool with this fight going just evenly, just splitting right now.
Yeah, it's coming back up in about 4 seconds.
But you're also down your BKB on Storm and on Doom. So that means that Liquid, with their BKB up on Kunkka, is, as well as their carry Slardar, they're totally happy taking over the triangle. But Secret can fight with Doom fairly soon. Liquid has good vision in the bot lane. Secret running down here is, you can definitely make a move here.
They're making their move too. Look at the way that they're coming over. They don't have Zai though. Oh, never mind. Zai's here. He's gonna show up. The jump forward, gonna stomp though up onto Matu. He's gonna need a bit of assistance here as they manage to go get the stun off over onto Nisha. Followed up with the boat. The BKB comes out from Mickey. He's trying to get that cleave damage. They do get the Doom off. Yeah, they're trying to save them just a little bit longer. Matu's gonna have to back off a little bit. Stop from Ice over onto the back lines. Again, they managed to Doom up Mickey. Matu's gotta get out of there fast. One more hit should have been able to do it, but he cannot get the final hit off in time as now Mickey running away. Zai using the roar, wants to try to buy just a little bit more time. The arrow comes through, going to land over onto some man, but they follow up here. No, it's not going to be enough. They're able to take down Mickey as Insania and Boxy are running for their lives. Sumail already popping that BKB. Zai's used the roar. They have to back off on the side of Liquid. The zip forward though, Sumail's not ready to give up. He wants Insania. They drag right back in. They'll get the stun off, but it's not going to be in time here to save the Bane.
Great save from Yapstar in that fight. He saves the Fiend's Grip, but in saving the Fiend's Grip, he also baited there. He let his target get like a little bit low, where he was, 20% HP or something like that, and then mechs. So it baits Liquid into this false sense of security that they have this beautiful grip. The Abba's not able to take the grip off. It was a full duration grip, and yet because of the save, yeah, I think they kind of start onto Abba, and then I think he grips Nisha here. That wasn't Sumail. Sumail was jumping around. Nightmare Sumail, and then grips onto Nisha.
Stupendous!
But he preempts this, and then he relocates just a little bit in the distance, lets him get low, so Boxy blinks in. They overcommit. Also, the Doom out onto Mickey again. I didn't realize my Tama got out. That's so low in that
He was
play.
very low. Yeah, one more click would have done the trick from Sumail.
I mean, it's good patience from both teams. Like, Zai almost saving Mickey there. I mean, Mickey's probably dead either way, but having that roar to potentially save him, with no BKB, of course, it's almost impossible. Did you know that, what the hell is it called, that he has? The Fey Grenade.
Yes.
Gives vision to both teams still. So if you use it on Roshan, the enemy team can see Rosh.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Is that intended to work that way?
I would say probably not. But,
High risk, high reward,
Yeah, that's a good way to justify it. Sure, all right, okay. Dota is a game of many features.
Oh man, that 7 a.m. wake up call is starting to feel it.
It's kicking in, it's kicking in.
But this Dota is so good. That's keeping us amped up, keeping us hyped. Smoke play coming out from Secret. They're going to just comb through the jungle, see if they can put up some vision, see if they can punish anyone who was hanging out in the area. Puppy keeping tabs here on Zai. Immediately, though, they'll use Moonlight Shadow. They'll back off. They realize that there's vision.
Yeah, he's way ahead there on Puppy. Just seeing if he can run into like a lowly little Insania, maybe set up for a Storm Zip onto the Bane, but now runs into Zai. Not exactly a great target to start on.
They're deploying all the vision here. Being feeble out over on Tanisha. Okay, just gonna clean up the creep wave.
And the Enfeeble actually quite effective on him. Reduces him to about 150 damage
I remember when Enfeeble didn't do anything, man.
from
Radiant's bottom
350.
is under attack.
Look at that fast this tower just goes down.
Middle
Oof.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, he's got the building talent now.
Foxy having to use some of these leaps to get away. Ice following up. It's gonna be a Yule's. A bit more time, but doesn't matter. So Foxy will fall. But now that's left Nisha a little bit vulnerable, but he does have two of his main caregivers nearby. You've got the Abad and you've got the Io to keep him healthy. No Rosh up just yet.
At this point, with Nisha having Butterfly Satanic, the fact that there aren't that many stuns on the side of Team Secret is not as important because they genuinely can just run around with him and use him effectively as like a tower, because not only does he do a ton of damage, he's got a crazy amount of effective HP, so you can pump all of these heals into him and it's going to be more and more effective on him.
Radiant are scanning.
The Zayev coming out on the courier.
I was just wondering the same thing.
Drum, he's got a drum. Okay, so
Dire's top
more
tower is
team
under
buffing,
attack.
which Drum very effective with his carry Slardar, who's building into that AC. If they can lock onto somebody, they do a lot of damage. I think Matumba, he did not go for the bash talent, actually went for the health talent. So he's playing, building for like the off-lane style of Slardar. I mean, it's a lot of HP, so I can understand why people would want to go for it, even on to carry Slardar. It's just a little, it's a good talent. It's a really good talent.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Apparently not, though. The win rate is, well, then again, I feel like if you're
It's
snowballing...
situational. I believe it's,
yeah,
it's a
like,
situational thing.
If you're already winning, you're probably more likely to go for the bash talent. Because it's like, I don't need HP, I can just
It
buy it.
doesn't matter. This stuff is skewed anyways. How many times, you know, have we seen Mantle of Intelligence being bought recently?
That's got a very high win rate, I'll have you
The
know.
win rate. Those are inflated numbers.
It's very good on Timbersaw in particular, and Mars, for some reason.
Has been killed.
Nisha's courier that getting sniped is a pretty big deal. That is some crit damage that is not going to be available for him.
Yeah, not Daedalus, actually, he's going for the Silver Edge. So, looking for that kind of positioning element to that item, which I think is very good. I mean, he has enough damage right now. I don't think you need to go for the Daedalus. Silver Edge does a lot of damage too. Just maybe a little bit less. Gives you more of that ability to like get in and out of fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Once again,
Secret, seeing Insania.
Radiant's
Ice gonna step forward here with a stomp. That's so much damage coming up from Nisha. Oh, good God.
yeah, I had to click to ice there to see if he had like Alpha Wolf buff or something, because the damage was just so high, but it's just all the burst, as well as Nisha right-clicking so hard.
So this is going to be difficult for them to get anywhere near this pit fast enough, right? Especially when you don't have the Bane that is like a massive part of your control. Do you think they even go? I don't think they get there in time. No.
No, not
They're just going to let Seeker
looking.
take it.
Even with the buyback on Insania, not to. Okay, and so they give Aegis, to some degree, surprisingly, to Nisha.
Well, I mean, Samael's only died once on Storm. He's
Sure.
pretty hard to get his fingers on. So, I mean, same thing, though, I guess, with Nisha. Nisha's only died once as well.
I think the argument is more so that Nisha is your sieging hero. So he's going to be hitting towers. Sumail's not. So that means you can position him in front and not feel afraid at all. That's what this is about, I think. And Sumail TP'd back, so this is...
They go for a roar play, though, when they'll get the kill on Samael. Oh, we weren't expecting that, it seems. In the top lane, they see Insania. They've got a lot of click damage. They'll be able to remove him.
Well, the reason that works is because simultaneously on the top lane, they were also going on Nisha. They canceled Nisha's TP. He can't get here. This is just a Rax.
This is just Yapster by himself. That is that. No. Oh.
Nisha has to walk, dude. He's just slowly waddling his way there. There's a free Rax. That was set. Insania is dead, but he is the reason he canceled Nisha's TP.
Yeah, no, that is very value. That's not supposed to happen if you're
That
Team
was-
Secret.
That was a dope call. That's into Aegis.
Look at the creeps in their base, too. Look at this. Mickey walks right into Nisha. Puppy is nearby, though. It's going to be a difficult thing to lock down, especially when you do have ice nearby. But yeah, look at these. They've got a couple parties in there.
Damn, dude. What a play.
Insane's picking up a gem now. They're going to get some more vision. Liquid. That was a very calculated move. And
That-
paid off.
It feels so bad if you're Secret to get caught with your pants down like that. And, you know, it wouldn't work if Vayne didn't have that extra night vision for Nightmare. It's
a hell of a thing.
It's one of those things that, like, and Insania was just in the right position there at the right time. Although, like, 1 or 2 seconds off, and that just doesn't work. You're never getting that Rex. No way. Not against an Aegis. It's not happening.
All right. 4K net worth lead. They still have the Aegis online here for Nisha.
Nisha is actually building for the Daedalus now.
Plans change. Pulls it back over here onto Mickey. Had the X on him, but they've got plenty of damage. That is a Doom down, a BKB on Sumail, but a dead Mickey.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the trade. Doom BKB for Kunga. He's got no buyback. There's no Roshan. They do have good sieging with SF though, so they might just poke high ground here to see if he'll buy back. And
Cannot buy back.
he won't, because he can't.
Exactly. Foxy. Maybe a little bit too forward here, but
Dire's structures are
we'll use the fortification. Look how fast Nisha hits and how hard he hits.
Matu though, he cut that mid wave.
There's a double damage around the Roche Pit too.
This is the only wave that they have, so Ice is trying to get this bot wave out.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, Nisha's still tearing through the buildings pretty quickly here. Matu again continues to
Backdoor's
just-
on.
Good Nightmare. Buys a bit more time here. It's
This is good
poking
stalling.
away with Nisha.
This is good
like,
stalling.
he's got to be very frustrated. He's not being allowed to hit these buildings. They've got the Yules, they've got the Arrow, they've got the Nightmare, they've got the Enfeeble. He's forced to go and use the Manta again. Another Nightmare.
Radiant's top tower is
Like you said, it's good stalling. 14 seconds is a 4 though coming out from Sumail. He's had enough as they're going to go and immediately punish it. Matu beats down on Sumail. They'll get the kill. He's got to be careful. One more hit. Oh, it's a big one here. They managed to get the feed skip up, but they don't have enough damage. They'll be able to take down Insania. Insania buying back. Wants to be a part of this fight, but these buildings now, they crumble without Nisha having the chance to, you know, get toyed with. They do have a wave being pushed into the base over on the side of the Radiant, but Nisha does not seem to care. He's got an IO, he's got his Manta, he's just going to continue to put some more damage onto this middle racks, and then just casually walk away. Still has the Aegis online. Side, though.
The whole time he was trying to push top, but it's not. This is not the old Necro Beastmaster. He doesn't push that fast when it comes to taking towers, so you know he's trying to stall. He cut some waves, but unfortunately that bot wave for Liquid that pushed in. Sumail does end up going down though, so that's Batum is definitely doing a lot of damage on Slardar. You have to look out for that. Nisha's feeling mega unkillable.
They're
right
taking a
now, though.
tower right now, by the way.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Somebody's got to deal with this. Okay, there's Ice.
Yeah, they are sending a couple people back now, but I don't think ignore it for so long. Did you get Nightmare off over on Tanisha? Still has the Aegis for another 14 seconds. Put some damage out over onto the Abaddon. Will go and proc his ultimate. Mickey, he's used that BKB. He's gonna have to walk away. 3 more seconds on Aegis. Can they turn this around? Do they want to turn this around? Their Nightmare out. We'll go use the Essence Ring on Yapsor.
Mickey, he tried to time it so that he broke the ABBA, silenced him so he couldn't manually press the ult, and then kill him when the ult wouldn't proc because of the break. But unfortunately, the break wore off just at the last second. And so Puppy able to survive that one by just being positioned a little bit better. He was very safely positioned, super far away from Nisha. You'd think he'd be kind of close because he's ABBA and it's a low-range hero, but he understands that he can die in this game, and Nisha had an Aegis. So this guy has 2 lives, 3,000 HP, 10,000 effective HP. He doesn't need to be that close.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's
Nisha's
top
courier
tower
gets
is under attack.
taken out. They have the MKB completed for Matu. Zai also having himself a sheep stick. There's a jump forward from Matu with an arrow, right? Again, over onto Nisha. Can they get enough damage off in time, though? Zai queuing so much on the back line. Yes, they'll take down Nisha. They'll take down Insania, though. drop to the ground. Samael clicking away over onto Zai. Matu just trying to hit as many hounds as he can. Trying to get rid of Ice. They'll be able to do it. He's already used the Doom over onto Mickey. Puppey hiding into the tree line. The blink forward from Matu. He's just cutting through everybody like they're butter. And the hunt is on. Multiple buybacks coming out from the side of Secret. This Io, though, is not looking healthy at all. It's an ultra kill for Matu. Samael's teleporting out. He is running now.
All right, so that was just an all-in from Liquid. They're like, all right, we have to kill Nisha right now. If we don't do this, he's going to take our entire base. It works out. Yapzor actually relocated back to try to get Nisha on the buyback, but in the time that he relocated back, his whole team died. So they just let him die. They just say, all right, we're done. Tries to save him here. Yeah, these supports are trying to keep him alive. The really nice Yule Scepter from Boxy onto Puppey. It's just they completely all in him, and then it works. And on the relocate back, Ice actually ends up going down. Sumail, I think, was expecting to get tethered out so that he'd get that fountain regen, but it didn't end up happening. Just a chaotic fight. They get the gem as well. And then Yapzor's like, okay, well, plans have changed. I'm going to try to tether out, but of course the Hex prevents that. Tumbles like, don't mind if I do. All right. Double damage, eh? Okay.
And a Moon Shard.
All right.
Penta-Edge Sword, MKB, double damage Moon Shard.
Yeah.
Woo! That is, that's gonna hurt if he's able to hit.
You got the Beast Aura too. You also have the buff from the Dinosaur. It's another 75 attack speed.
Sir, please, it's a Thunder Hide.
I'm sorry. Ancient Thunder Hide.
Touche.
This man has lived for eons. My boy, the Dinosaur. Checking Roach Pit. Like a good boy.
All right.
We're getting another long one. I mean, it's...
I mean, this has been a fun match to watch.
It's even. It's fairly even. The Rax advantage is kind of evening out. You know, just a two Rax advantage. Not tower, though, so...
Smoke play coming out from Secret. Going through their jungle. They do have some vision up, so...
Looks like they just kind of want to get out on the map, get some wards down. That's
like
fair.
On Mirana. Lord. Full Assault Cuirass now for the Kunkka.
Double duty.
Both items kind of doing the same thing. Preventing that massive physical damage minus armor from coming out from Nisha.
Yeah.
So the Ethereal Blade being able to make somebody else into ghost form, that is probably going to be one of the more effective things in these team fights.
Right, because like the only major like magic damage that we're seeing is going to be coming out from Sumail.
Yep. Even he's doing a lot of right-click damage at this point, too.
True, true. We are 44 minutes into the game.
I'm realizing now that was Zai's Hex in the previous fight, by the way. This man has a Hex, and presumably he's going to get a Refresher Orb. So this guy's going to have, what, like 12 seconds of pure disable in the next fight? Almost 12, 11 seconds? Yeah, that's going to be nuts.
Got a second smoke coming up from the side of Secret. Again, just trying to reclaim the jungle. Trying to clear it. But Liquid's just playing that top half of the map. They're waiting for Roche to respawn. It's gonna still be a little bit of time. But they're getting into position. They're making sure that they can't take their triangle over on the side of Secret.
Yeah, the one advantage that Secret has, being on this Radiant side and having to deal with the bot lane of Rax, is that they do have a Storm, they do have an IO, so these heroes can get around the map very quickly. The problem is, at this point in the game, with as much damage as both sides have, 1 or 2 seconds can be make or break. So the relocate, getting somebody in, you're going to need to do that very quickly, if not like preemptively, which is quite hard to do, or you just already be there for the fight, which is exactly why they're 5.
I feel like you can't relocate in because it's too telegraphed. It gives them enough time to set up.
It does. At this point, it does. The relocate should probably be to get out.
It's a wambulance at this point.
It's a wambulance, absolutely.
All right, this Roche is just, look how fast it just melts. There's no way that Secret will have any time to react to this. So that is going to be Cheese, Refresher Shard, and Aegis. Oh, God.
Yeah, Matumba is perma-stunning people right now with his...
Can we talk about Zai with a Refresher Shard, with the Roar, with the Hex? Like we talked about, that's a lot of just...
Yeah, that's big. That's big. you know, unfortunately for Puppy, Abaddon cannot refresh. Well, I suppose he could with items. The Aphotic Shield. It's, you know, you can roar, Aphotic Shield comes out, and then roar again, and, you know, not so countered at this
Positioning is going to be so incredibly important here for Zai for this next fight. Although we do get a double Doom now, right? We get the Refresher picked up for Ice, 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 so he's more powerful. He's going to be able to take 2 out of the fight as long as he can get that initiation, right? It's so important that he does not get locked down.
Yeah.
Because again, Mickey, very tanky.
I feel like your ideal Doom targets would be Zai in Mickey right now. I mean, Mickey has, the Dooms have been working wonderfully on him in the fights, but now that Zai has the Hex, he has the Primal Roar, I honestly feel like even without this Refresher Shard, you Doom Zai just so he can't get off that significant amount of chain disable.
Oh, I agree.
Now that it's doubled, even more so. You got to get him out. Just Doom him, even if you don't kill him. Make sure that he's not getting these disables off, because it's too much.
He's also got the oh God, I can't even talk right now.
Quickening Charm.
Quickening Charm, like not Quicksilver Amulet, that's the other thing. Yeah, he's got the Quickening Charm, so that way all of his stuff is going to be off cooldown a lot faster.
Yep.
And it's already a big threat.
He's a big boy. Yeah, just kind of chaining across the map, clearing the map, farming, looking for the right pickoff once again. Both of these teams realize how important this series is to win and how close they are. I know I said it in the last game, but you get to the 50-minute mark in a game of Dota 2, and you see a 7k gold lead for a team. It means jack shit. Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Also, a Rax advantage means very little. This is 100% a game of buybacks. And of course, it favors a team that has the Aegis, especially if you have a slot for it. But you know, I see 47-minute Ethereal Blade, very common
First
thing.
time this patch.
On Abaddon.
On Abaddon.
Very good.
They smoke out. They're hoping to get any sort of information on the side of Secret, but Liquid has already just invaded themselves. And is that, I like this on our Beastmaster, it is the ninja gear. We talk about how important it is that he is able to get into these fights. He's not doomed, not disabled, and able to get off all of these spells with the Refresher Shard. And this is the exact item, I think, that is necessary.
Yeah, this is nice for him because he can chill with his summons here and give them the auras, and he can, you know, Wild Access the wave.
The perfect item for him at this point in the game.
Yeah, super nice. Let's see, do we have any important 25s? We have Ghost Ship Fleet from Mickey, who is currently TPing towards that bottom lane, also with Matumba, who has the undispellable Corrosive Haze. So, suck it, puppy. You're not dispelling shit this game. Not anymore. Now Slardar counters you.
I'm sure that's exactly what Matu's thinking right
He's like,
now.
I'm going to play for that.
Suck it, puppy.
That 25-minute timing, or that level 25 timing versus Abaddon. That's when Slardar counters Ava instead of the other way.
It's finally his time to shine.
Yeah. Almost has his Satanic too. Doesn't want to buy it though. No slot for it currently.
Yeah, if we take a look at buybacks right now, no buyback on Doom, no buyback on Abaddon, and no. Well, we'll have it shortly for Nisha. But everyone else, they've got buybacks available. And it might just come down to using those. Again, still have the Aegis on Matu, you've got the cheese on Mickey. It's all about the next engagement. How do you approach?
Now, I would say at this point, if you're Nisha, you're thinking like, okay, I'm getting into Rapier territory. But this hero already does so much damage. I feel like you just benefit so much from other items other than Rapier. You don't want to double down on the damage. It's just redundant.
What do you want to see on him then?
Probably Scotty. Scotty sounds
Yeah, Scotty would be really good.
But he's fairly slotted right now. I mean, all of these items are quite useful for him. There's nothing that he can consume. I think the extra range from the Hurricane Pike is quite important. Arcane Rune on Kunkka.
Bane is so poor comparatively. There's no Aghanim Scepter Dreams for this poor Bane, only nightmares.
Yeah.
And the Refresher Orb is completed. Do have a completed Ag Scepter though for Storm too. So again, some of these bigger items could make or break this next fight.
Yep, the Ags is definitely important because it gives you that potential of hitting multiple heroes.
Arrow over onto Puppy. Mickey getting into the position to jump forward again. They'll be able to take out Puppy immediately. No buyback, as we stated. The Doom gets used. It's gonna be the Ghost Ships coming in here. Samel dragging back over Circle. They go and they use the Roar. They'll buy a little bit more time. They have the Fiend Script to hold over onto Samel to get another Roar on the zip over onto the back line. So Ice and Samel, they're trying to fight through. So other statue, though, does go down. That Aegis just getting reclaimed. Nisha, though, trying to just pull back. Again, they have their eyes over onto side. Mickey does have that damage, so they may be able to finish it off. They'll be able to kill Nisha. And this is looking very bad for Smiles. He's the next one to fall. Oh, Secret. They just get team wiped, and only 2 people on their team have buyback. There's one of them. Might need that IO too, Nisha.
Sai runs immediately back to the base. They're not trying to get thrown right now by some IO play.
I mean, he's got boots of travel, so.
You might have to go for that here.
That's too risky.
I feel like what's risky is Liquid just going throne and then winning the game here. I feel
True, I guess when you got very little to lose, you might as well make those risky plays, but Puppy's gonna be up in a moment. Isle's gonna be up. Sai throwing out that Hawk, wants to keep some vision. They'll use the fortification. ISSI still down for another 50-something seconds. 60-something seconds over on Storm. They'll throw out the boat. Jump forward, okay. Another couple hits here. There's the E-Blade coming to play. They're gonna try to pull back, but immediately gets interrupted. The roar, that's just it. Liquid, they managed to claim the victory against Secret.